Sharp Game here, coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait. And we got another veteran that's being fucked over. An Army veteran falsely arrested while walking his dog says he endured racial taunts by Trump-loving NYPD cop. And this is some bullshit. You know, stories like this kind of rub me the wrong way because I'm a veteran too. And I think it's unnecessary. Something like this should never happen to a veteran. A veteran should never be into a legal dispute or any type of lawsuit in America. And you know why? Because we're defending everyone else's freedom in this country. That's why. And if you disagree with that, I pretty much know what type of person you are. And if you're on the side of the cops, I pretty much know what type of person you are. And I hate to break it to you, but the veterans, we're the real heroes. Cops aren't. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel about that. If you disagree with that, that's fine. But I'm going to read some of this. An Army veteran's quiet walk with his dog in Brooklyn Park turned into a long night in jail on a false arrest and being subjected to a pro-Trump cop racial taunt. A new lawsuit says. I hope I don't mess his name up. Naja Plowden, 35, was wrapping up a midnight walk with his dog in Crown Heights, Brower Park last August when two NYPD cops in a police van stopped and questioned him about being in the park after hours. The park didn't have any signs posted indicating it was open, Plowden said. And the cops also didn't bother a white man who was there playing fetch with his dog. No surprises there. Let the white man do what they want, you know. This is New York. Let's see. One of the officers, Nicholas, allegedly asked Plowden for identification, but he had left it at home. When the cop ran Plowden's name, an active warrant came up. A 2013 summons for skateboarding in Union Square Park. And it goes on to say, after Plowden told the cop the warrant and summons had been dismissed in Manhattan criminal court 3 months earlier, the officer allegedly asked him if someone could come get his dog because he was going to be arrested for being in the park after dark. So he got arrested in the park, got arrested for being in the park after dark. He didn't get arrested for the warrant or the summons, even though the summons was already taken care of. I explained the summons was cleared up. I wasn't even in the country at the time, said Plowden, who filed a lawsuit in the Brooklyn federal court on Friday. Good for you, smart man. You hit them in their pockets. He got an attorney. That's what we do. That's what veterans do. We fight back. Plowden, a married father who served in Afghanistan and now works as an occupational therapist for special education students, was taken to the 77 precinct after the cops dropped off Lily Cat, oh, that's his dog, Pit Bull Terrier, at his house. And it goes on to say, while Plowden was in custody, the cop, who was white, allegedly made comments to Plowden, an African-American man, that included, your culture is more problematic, more violent, more prone to crime, and you wouldn't have been stopped and detained if you'd been a white guy in a park at night on the Upper East Side, according to the lawsuit. Well, he's right. on some of this because there was a white guy in the park playing with his dog. He didn't say anything to him. And as far as black people being more problematic, more violent, more prone to crime, and detained and being stopped, first off, when it comes to violence, we ain't got shit on white folks. You know, there's this myth out here that somehow black people are more violent than white folks. No, that shit is definitely not true. I mean, when it comes to black people, we can't even defend ourselves in this country. I mean, most black people I know aren't not violent. They can't even defend themselves. They don't know. They don't take defense classes. They don't even have guns. They don't go to the range. I mean, if the average black person I know right now, if someone was to broke into their house or maybe physically attack them, they would pretty much get their ass. They would get hurt. They would pretty much get their ass kicked. They might even get killed because the average black person, they don't train like that. They don't really do anything as far as, they don't even take physical fitness classes. Never have. And most white people, they got all the damn guns. I mean, they got gun stores. They got these, they have these gun festivals all across the country where they can buy guns with basically no background. So black people aren't doing any of that shit. Black people, we aren't even organized like that. We aren't really thinking about and as far as crime, most black people I know don't do crime. The only black people I know that do crime are the ones that don't have what they need. And that's just across the board. That's just people in general. If people have what they need, they tend to, go about their business and try to live their life as best as possible. But when people don't have what they need, they tend to be very scandalous. So you can create an environment of crime. I mean, because the ghettos just didn't come about by accident. The ghettos were created by these governments, local governments, state governments, federal governments. I mean, see, people like to name call and label people in America and label neighborhoods in America, but they never talk about how it happened. They never tell you what to do about things. That's one thing. That's what makes America so, the hypocrisy in America. That's what makes it so deep, because they always talk about the problem, but they never tell you what to do, and they never tell you who was behind it. The hypocrisy that lies in this country is really a tragedy. So I'm gonna read some more of this. I started to tear up because I'm a 35-year-old black man, a veteran, with no criminal record, Plowden told the Daily News. I said, please do not do this. Why are you doing this? He started to laugh, asked if I was crying. I said, no, this is emotional. So the cop, he was getting off. He started laughing at this guy, once he got arrested and everything, So these are the people. Most people in the dominant society, they don't really have compassion for black people or any other people. For that, that's just how it is. So if anything happens to you when you're out and about, especially if you're a black male, no one's going to feel sorry for you when you're out there. No one's going to feel sorry for you. I hate to break it to you. If you're a black male, no one's going to feel sorry for you. So you just got to really kind of disengage from any type of feelings or any type of emotions. When you're out and about driving or doing your thing on the daily or weekly routine, you got to kind of forget about how you feel. Forget about you have to be a little relentless. You can't really get in caught up in how people look at you, and don't seek validation. The only people that really you should really I guess be concerned about how they feel about you is your friends and family. But anybody else, forget about it. Even on your job, forget about it. So the cop also allegedly spent much of the night lecturing Plowden with pro-Donald Trump rhetoric, bragging that the president-elect will support policing in minority neighborhoods and end the abuse of resources like food stamps and welfare by ghetto residents, the lawsuit said. This shit is all in the lawsuit. This didn't come out the cop's mouth directly. Police officers are entitled to their political views, but a helpless prisoner confined to a precinct cell and subjecting him to racist political bravado is unacceptable, said Browden's attorney Joel Berger. The cop, who could not be reached for comment, was a defendant in another federal lawsuit in 2014 in which he was accused of participating in an assault and fabrication of false criminal charges. That case was settled for $25,000. Hours after his latest arrest, a Brooklyn criminal court judge vacated the warrant against Plowden, dismissed the misdemeanor charge, and apologized that the NYPD's computer system had not been updated according to the lawsuit. Yeah, right. That shit is always updated. Get the fuck out of here. But as a result of the arrest, Plowden's job as an occupational therapist is in limbo. The Department of Education has declared him ineligible for assignments until it looks into the case, according to the lawsuit. I've always treated officers with respect, Plowden said. I never thought this would ever happen to me. Shit, go figure. A spokesperson for the city's law department said the complaint will be reviewed once we are served. The NYPD declined to comment on pending litigations. Of course, they don't got shit to say because they know they're going to have to pay out some money. So they'll settle because they don't want to go to court, because they don't want that bad press, especially if they know they're in the wrong or they know they can't win. So this type of shit could happen to anybody. There's this misconception that if you're in the military or if you get married to a non-black person, that somehow all your trials and tribulations is over. But that's not true. Just because you live in a white neighborhood, or you live in a non-black neighborhood, or you live out in the boondocks by yourself, that doesn't mean you won't face any type of mistreatment or get treated unfairly. Not at all. I know sometimes it's hard for a lot of us veterans to believe that some people might have malicious intent towards us, even though we've been to Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Bosnia, the Persian Gulf, all that shit. But there's a lot of people in this country don't respect veterans and don't care about veterans. And this just didn't start today. This started in the 60s and 70s and 80s. It's always been a certain group of people, especially within the dominant society, that just don't have no respect for veterans. And the institutions are right behind them. As a matter of fact, the institutions are out in front, and the people are in the back. Because when I got out of the military, I kind of got a wake up call. I realized that I've been bamboozled, because I realized that the VA and these other institutions really don't give a damn about veterans. They, as long as you go to these other countries and drop bombs and shoot and take control of the resources for these big institutions so they can profit, as long as you do that, you're cool. But when you get home, fuck you. That's how they feel. And that's how a lot of other veterans feel, just as I do. But it is what it is. So if something happens to you or your family, your kids, what you gonna do about it? Are you gonna fight? Are you gonna get an attorney? You might physically have to fight. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stand up or lay down? You know what they say, it's better to be prepared than get caught off guard. So, some people say you should stay ready so you won't have to get ready. So, if you like what you heard, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Subscribe to my channel. Until next time, Sharp Game is out. Peace.